So, for a long time, triangle chokes were one of my favorite submissions. I was hitting them all the time, but I was also rolling with white belts that could never like defend them. And then you start rolling with people who are a little bit more advanced, people who know what they're doing. They smell a triangle a mile off, right? So, what I'm looking for to set up a triangle, which is still a very powerful attack, right? What I'm looking for is this type of scenario, right? So you see, I've got one arm in, one arm out. That is what I'm really trying to look for, and it's not something that I can easily just force. Now, one of my coaches back in Maine, was like, "Oh, you can pull on the arm, push, and then without any connection, throw your legs up and do this." And the thing I have my feelings about that is that we're matching speed here, right? So he feels that push and a pull, and he knows what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get that one arm in, one arm out. And if I'm trying to do that, he's going to start building his posture up. And when you're building your posture up, you want to look up to the ceiling, guys. Your body's going to follow your eyes. I've said that many times. So that's one of the things that I see a lot of times when somebody's defending something, is that they will be here trying to build their posture up while they're still looking at their opponent. I know he's there. I'm able to build my posture up much better if my eyes go up. Alright? So, he's going to smell that a mile off. So, I need to start actually doing things that are going to prevent that. So, I need to maybe, when I do this push and pull, I might be still breaking his posture down. I might have that hidden in other things I'm doing. So, I might just be, kind of controlling this wrist, like I'm trying to attack it or whatever, and eventually push that out and throw my legs up. But again, that's going to be really, really challenging to do and not really realistic to rolling. So if I get, triceps control, I've got that down and I start to push that open and I'm lucky enough to do that. What I want to do from this point is I've got that arm, one arm in, one arm out. And I'm going to pinch my knees together. And part of what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to block this arm that I've got trapped from getting back out. Jet is really, really good about keeping the hand of the arm that I'm trying to clear back in so he can, at some point in time start to straighten that out and get two arms in, and then we're just back into a normal guard. So there's a really good way that he's defending that. Now, if they don't do that, right, I've still got that arm trapped. You can't pull it back in because of the way I've shoved it down. I'm going to start bringing my leg up. A lot of times I'm going to grab the top of the head. Notice I'm not really too concerned about this arm because my leg is blocking it right now. So I'm going to cut the big top of his head and I'm going to start to pivot my body. I want to be as perpendicular as possible. Feck. I'm going into an arm bar here. So I've got this one arm in, one arm out. So once I've got this position here, I'm going to slide my leg up. And that's a lot of times going to get me into this kind of crappy arm bar position, or crappy triangle position, right? So I've got my knees locked up here, but I'm not quite into a triangle position yet. And the reason why I'm not is I need to actually establish this position and keep it. So I need to start working on making sure that I'm keeping this posture down. And then from here, right, I'm going to take this hand up, and I've showed you this already. I'm going to reach through and I'm going to grab my own ankle. Okay? So from here, I might hook his leg, and I'm just going to start to scoot around. Notice that I'm still connected here. There's no space here. Right? So I've got this grip here, but it's not everything, right? So I'm going to move over, and I'm going to catch the angle, and I'm going to throw my leg on top. From here, I'm going to bridge up, because that arm is still over here. If he hooks that, I'm going to go for an omoplata. I'm not going to go for this triangle. But since he hasn't hooked that, I'm going to move his arm across his body. I'm going to pinch it between my ribs and my leg. And then I've got this. So again, we are moving our leg out. And then we're trying to get as parallel to, or perpendicular to his body as possible, right? So we're at this 90-degree bend with his body. So I'm trying to get that angle. And then I am cricketing my legs rather than squeezing inward. Right? Sorry, that was a little long-winded. So, for kind of this push-pull triangle, right, again, this is not going to be my main priority. My main priority is going to be to clear this arm one way or another, whether I am, using my legs, I'm breaking his posture down, using my legs to keep his posture down. Maybe I've got this head grip here and I've got this here, and I can somehow work that out. Again, people are on high alert for it, so it's a really, really hard thing to do. So however I got it out, I do have a better way of doing it, and I will show you it, but however I got it out, right, I'm not worried about this guy yet. What I'm worried about is actually catching his head, making sure that I'm going perpendicular to his head. So I'm going to reach up, and I'm going to catch my angle and start pivoting, right? So I'm underhooking his leg so I can get that angle, and I get across his neck here. Now, I'm going to throw this leg on top, and I'm going to hook. This frees up both my hands to move this arm across his body. I again go back and underhook his leg and move my leg out, and then cricket to finish that. So my quadricep on this side and is pushing his shoulder into this side of the neck, closing that up, and then my hamstring on this side is what's pushing in on that side. Right? So I should give you guys a different angle on that. Maybe on this side, right? So I've cleared that arm by pushing it through my legs. Sometimes I might pull on this tricep, might break his posture down some other way, but I created some space. I locked long enough to get that arm through, whatever, but I've gotten into this 90-90 position. Maybe they're a beginner and you just notice that they put their arm out anyways while you still have this arm in. Whatever, right? However I got that. So I've got this position, and it is a triangle position. It is not a submission at this point. If you think about it as a submission and you try to finish it now, not only are you not going to be able to finish it, but they're going to be able to start working to escape. So I need to maintain this, and that is my number one priority. Don't lose is my number one priority. And I extend that personally to don't lose your position, right? I worked hard for this shit, so I'm going to keep it. So I'm going to unhook his head maybe. I'm going to try to do what I can to keep his posture broken down. I'm going to grab my ankle, and I'm going to start to pivot. Right? At this point, this is going to be helping to keep him down. So I can grab his near side leg here. So I'm going to the inside of his leg, and I'm going to start to pivot to get that angle. So you can see we're at pretty close to a 90 degree to each other right now. I'm going to slide my leg over the top. I'm going to lock that on. My boots on, both feet, right? I'm going to bridge up to pass that across. I'm going to lock it right here, and then I cricket. And if you absolutely need to, if he's still not tapping and he hasn't passed out yet, you can pull his head down. And you can do that, two hands as well. But what you're doing there is you're potentially helping him escape. One, if you're not tight enough to begin with. Two, you're covering for bad technique. And three, it might not be illegal. And you're just not being as strong as you could be. So, do what you need to do if you're competing, but for when you are practicing with your rolling buddies and whatnot, try to really, really focus on making this the cleanest possible triangle you can.